Hello and welcome to our boat. It's called Padayon. It's a Jeanneau Sun Odyssey 40. And as you can see right now, we are on a shipyard because we are preparing the boat for sailing, but also for selling. I don't want to go into details of the length and all this because you can read all that in descriptions, but we wanted to show a video where we go around on every section of the boat, show all the small details that we have made, that the previous owners made, so you can see why we fell in love with this boat. As you can see, the boat has a permanent storm sail with furling on, and here we have a large genoa, and then we have all the things needed for anchoring. Last year we were probably anchoring for 5 months without needing to go into to harbor, marina, whatever. And it also has a bowsprit, and it actually has a space for 2 anchors if you ever wanted that. In the spare part locker we do have 2 remote controls for the anchor winch, so that can be installed so it's totally remote. You don't have to stand here when doing the anchoring. For the anchoring, you can see right now we have the dinghy anchor line on top, and then we have around 60 to 70 meters of 10mm chain, and then we also have a anchoring buoy that we are using on places where there's not too many boats around us, because it's always nice to know where your anchor are. And here we have one of the best purchases we did last year, actually 1.5 years ago, but we started using it last year. It is made of aluminium here, and then this is Hydrovane, which is really good in the sun. It should be able to last for a lot more years than normal PVC. When we are sailing long, we put it up here, and then we have a 15 horsepower Mercury engine for this. We can show later. The bottom of the boat, when you're standing on it, is more or less flat, but I'm sure we can also put in some images during the video that's gonna show this one in function, or even some videos actually. On the side here, on both sides, we have extra solar panels. Special about these is that they have solar panels on both sides, so they have actually shown to us to be really effective. They are 115 watt each, so 230 plus 230 on the other side. Each set has their own MPPT, and they have proven that during the start of the day and the end of the day, depending how the boat is placed in the water, they're getting a lot of sun and giving a lot of power for us. So here we have the mast, mainsail. The mainsail is operated from the mast. At first I thought that that would be dangerous or whatever, but when you start to get used to that, it's actually a lot nicer, because you can pull a lot more on the halyard from here, and then you use the winch for the last bit, depending of how physical you want to be. Then we have a spinnaker pole here, and we actually have 2 spinnaker poles. There's a small thin one down here. The standing rigging was changed in 2019 by a rigging company called A19 on Mallorca. And of course the mast has everything you need. It has a radar reflector, it has a wind instrument and anchor light, and everything needed. So here we are at the helm station, where I have my 3 normal instruments: the wind, speed, autopilot. I have motor controls, I have bow thrusters here, I have a socket for USB charger. So normally we have a tablet sitting here, where we use that for navionics, but also in front of me I have a chart plotter where I can see AIS and normal chart plotter from Raymarine. On top of me I have 3 solar panels. They are 210 watts per piece, so 630 watts. In the back of me I have the 15 horsepower Mercury engine for the dinghy, and we have a small 1 horsepower spare engine, which was the original from the boat. Up here we have the radar, and we have some antennas and so on. And in the back of the boat we have the wind vane. We can mount there as a backup steering, and also additionally autopilot, depending what kind of sailing you want to do. Over here I have a radio that is connected to power all the time. We do have an additionally handheld radio. This is only a 1 watt radio, so it's just for nearby communication. Here I have another chart plotter, and here in the back of me we have an inflatable life raft. It is old, not serviced, so yeah, take it for what it is. Also, of course, we have compasses on both sides. Up here, as I said, we have the chart plotter we use the most. We have additionally sockets for USB, and then we have 4 of these nice chairs. There's where you can change the seating of it. You can bring it somewhere else. In both sides we have 2 lockers. One is used for a lot of extra ropes, generators, and another one is used for a lot of the cleaning things. And yeah, they are full at the moment. Also, I forgot to set in the back there was another deep locker also, and there was a gas locker where we have 3 camping gas, the blue bottles, which last us probably for I think 2 weeks at a time. The main thing we so much love about this boat is the huge cockpit locker. When you think about it, it's only a 40-foot sailboat, and we can take these out to have a big nice table. We can walk almost in and out without any disturbance. Nice baiting platform and so on. Another thing I didn't say is that on each side we have a fishing rod holder. There's a fishing rod already hanging over here. It's going to be part of the boat. And also a big bimini to take the shadow during the summertime. It can easily be taken back, but the spray hood is always permanent here. So in each side we have 2 large winches for mostly we use them with the genoa. And then here we have 2 of these in each side as well for all the halyards that's going back here. Up here we have something that's really essential for us, and that is our Starlink. It is modified, so it's always pointing up, so we're not using a lot of energy on trying to move it all the time, and it can easily be taken down if we're not in the boat, if we're afraid of leaving it here. Also, another thing up here is there's a security camera just in the back, pointed this way, and when the door is closed there's a security camera pointing the other way, and additionally you have a security camera inside the boat we can show later. Welcome to the galley. There's a few things I wanted to show here that we didn't show from upstairs, and that is up here we have a temperature sensor which is on the exhaust systems from the engine, so we always know the temperature in case that the water is not flowing or something like that. We'll be notified here the first, because that's something you can see on the exhaust if it's getting too hot. And another nice little feature is down here, which you see, look here, then it's blinking. It's showing as soon as the water pump is on, and the same things for the bilge pump. Something you can see from upstairs. So if any of these is lighting and you're standing up there and nobody's down here, you know you have to go down. There's a bilge pump here, which is mounted just below here, and there's a bilge pump down below in the bilge. There's 2 actually. So the one we have here is a high capacity bilge pump, and the other one is the standard bilge pump. And another safety feature, of course, we have flares. There's 2 flares. There's one just here and there's another one in the room. So as for the galley, as you can see, we are living on the boat. So there's a lot of things and not all of them is gonna be part of the boat. The galley, the utilities, plates and so on, there's gonna be a full galley so you can move in and start living on the boat. We have two big cabinets down here which has a drawer with a lot of space that has been organized, so there's a lot of space. The same goes for trash, and there's space in here. Two sinks, retractable hose. We have a normal hose, cold, hot water, and then we have this one. Again, there's a lot of secondary things. If the water, let's say that the power is not working, there's a foot pump, so you can pump the foot instead for this one. Here, the refrigerator is a really deep one. There's a lot of space, and it is cooled with a keel cooler. Also, on the hot days, we have a fan here. These are the good fans. It's Hella fans, and there is in totally 8 of these mounted in the boat, special for the hot days. In here we have the measurements for the water tanks. You simply just push, and then you see that the rear is full, the front is not full at the moment. 3 big cabinets for all the things like plates and so on. And then behind me we have the oven and the stove, gas operated from the gas upstairs. And we have a spice rack over here. And as well, there's a lot of space in here. Another nice little feature, I don't know if it's showing on the video, but we have a red light for down here, and there's red light over at the chart disc, so that when you're sailing in the night, you don't destroy your eyes. And the last little feature that's here, I can turn on the light in here and I can turn it off. And that light also goes for the trash cabinet. And in case you have been looking at other boats the same as ours, this looks like it was with the boat. It's really nice made. It's not made by us, but this is an extra thing. Normally they'll be open here. Some of the things we like about the design down here is also that you don't have this big open areas. So when you're sailing, there's always something to grab onto. Also over here, in case you need extra space, there is an extra option here for extra space. So welcome to the stern left cabin. As you can see, we have 2 cabinets here, quite big cabinets, but also there's a lot of space on top. As long as you put things in boxes, they can easily stand there while sailing. On each side, this easily fits 2 adults. It's long enough. On each side, there's a fan for each person that can be controlled individually. There's a rack in here for a little bit extra space. There's space over here below me. That's where we have the 12 volt, and in here we have the 12 volt engine battery. Of course, over on this side we have the engine. You can get in here, you can get in behind. And below me, this is where the second water tank is. The first water tank, as per se, is in front, but that's just gravity that's deciding which one to use first. And there's also controls if you want to control it yourself. In here you can't see it, but there's also a USB charger in case you want to charge your phone while you're here. And there's space to hang everything. So in here, since we are only using 2 of the cabins, this is more the storage room, but there is a nice bed, there's 2 fans. It's the same size as the other one, but it's also our technical room. It's difficult to show everything while I'm in here and talking, so I'm gonna talk and probably gonna show a video. Up here, that's where we have the Wi-Fi system, which is a 4G Wi-Fi, but it's the main Wi-Fi. below that, that is where we have the Starlink converter. So our Starlink, it's converted into being DC. Normally Starlink needs to have an inverter and it needs to have 230 volts. So we have this converter on it, so it runs directly from DC. So we're not going from DC to AC to DC, so there's a less loss on the power there. So right now how it's configured is that when the Starlink is on, the router up here is going to use Starlink, but we can put in a SIM. Actually, we can put in 2 SIMs in the router, so we can also use 4G if you don't want to use Starlink. As well, there's a lot of tools in here. Down here is where we have the main consumer batteries. Our consumer batteries is lithium. They are in a 24 voltage configuration, so that the things we connect to 24 volts actually can use a smaller wire. And it was what fit nice in here. It's roughly, it's around 5 kilowatt. So it's a big battery, which is really nice because for us we're using a lot of power and we can easily live out on the boat, on the hook, for weeks and weeks in a row. Like, I mean, last year we didn't take on any power for 4 months. So yeah, not a problem at all. Also, below here we have a DC to DC converter so that we can use the engine to charge the battery as well. And we have an inverter. It's a big inverter. It can easily power all the things we need on the boat. So lots of tools. Not all tools is going to be part of the sail, but you're still going to get a lot of tools also together with the boat. So again, it's a boat that's ready to move into. You just have to come with your clothes and you're ready to sail. Also down here there's the AIS, and we have this Raymarine network switch. This is a high-speed network switch, which is also a little bit special because we have 3 plotters and so on. So since it's a high speed, it just works. There's no delays. It's just working. Also in here there's a lot of spare parts. We are probably going to show some of them in the video, and maybe we're gonna take an extra images of some of all the spare parts, but there's a lot of spare parts. I forgot to say it, but in each cabin, at least the 2 rear, we also have mounted these, of course, in case of a fire, which we do not hope is gonna happen. So in here is the head. There's only 1 head on board of this boat, which we believe is plenty, at least for a family. A normal toilet head down here, but manual pump, meaning there's there's less things to break. More or less there is a whole new toilet without the ball as a spare parts. In here we have the holding tank. It's 65 liters and that is emptied by gravity again. Just open it and it's going out. A space for toilet paper and so on in there. Here, normal sink. Below sink there's a little bit of space, but also there's space to open and close all the through holes. And where I'm standing, that's like the shower. There's a little bit of things behind me, so I can get in. I can get more in, and then I can take the shower here, and it can be mounted just in the back of me. And there is more space in here, extra storage. There's storage in here, window up here, air can get in there, and a light. Lots of space. There is space for everything to hang and so on. So now we came to the saloon. You can easily sit 4 persons, probably easily 5 as well, around the table. Everywhere almost around it there's space to have stored things. Over here, that's where we have the water heater, and in the back there's space. We can show a bit of it in pictures afterwards. Up here there's cabinets. As you can see, there's a speaker here and there's a speaker on the other side because there's a hi-fi system as well. At the moment, I know I've mentioned it already probably in the video, but there's a lot of spare parts just below me, and we're gonna show some of all the spare parts. The reason why there is so much spare part on board of this boat is we of course bought some of it, but also the previous owner, he had a yacht management company where he mainly had a lot of oysters sailboat, and also that's why a lot of the things has been changed or upgraded, because he saw how it would be a nice upgrade to do this. And then he also had the option to buy a lot of things, and he loved to have everything on hand in case something should happen. So we will show a lot of the spare parts we have, but that also means if anything should break on board, there's almost always a spare part somewhere. Even the old generator for the engine is there. There's a starter motor. There's so much. So that's another reason why we fell in love with this boat. So this is where we control all the electronics. There's this older system here with the switches. There's mounted a new one for some of the new things that has been mounted. Stereo, and then some of the old we have. Well, this is more or less just to see the battery. And then there's 2 Victron controllers here. On all the solar we are using a Victron, but we're using the new Victrons right nowadays, which has Bluetooth. So we are monitoring that on the phone and not here anymore. So this one is not even connected, and this one is showing the voltage of the 12-volt battery. Here, as I said, upstairs, this is the tablet. It's mounted on a ram mount right now, so you just take it off, bring it up, put it on, and you're ready to go. Over here, there's another cabinet where you can lift it up, get access to it here, and you can open here. In here, there's another cabinet which is full of a lot of the electrical wiring and tools for that. Over here we have the main radio that can just be controlled from here. We also do have a handheld radio, which is nice for going into a marina and so on. And then we have another chart plotter here. And because we are a family who has been living full-time on the boat, this is mounted right now as a screen, but it could also be mounted probably over here or down here, so you can take it out as use it as a TV instead. There's also these, I think they call it a marriage saver. It's a way for 2 people to communicate with each other. Especially when you go into a marina, it's nice that you can stand in the back and the front and be able to talk to each other. And as I said, because we're working from the boat, this is a screen setup for us now. It's mounted here, so I can't open this one, but there is an option to have a little bit of storage below here. There's a light, a red light, as I said before, and another fan. As I said, 8 of these fans has been mounted different places. Again, behind me there's space, below me there's space for things. And then this one is a little special. This is a information systems for the boat, where you can go in and see different kinds of things. For the Raymarine, you can see the depth, you can see the wind and so on. It's been mounted here, and it's been mounted out in the main cabin. We're gonna show that later. So that if it's on the different things, you have, and you can see that all the time. Like you can see the wind, you can see the depth, and so on. Also, we didn't say that, but in the bills there is a little bit of space for some things as well. We do not really put that much down there. It's been mainly been like a few bottles or something like that, because there's a wine rack. But other than that, we haven't put anything on. Also up here we have a smoke detector, and as I said in a previous location, we have cameras on board that we can activate when we're not here, so that in case anybody breaks in, we're gonna be notified. And two nice clock and a barometer here. Also, we have temperature controllers, one here, and then we have two wireless. One is just placed out here, one is placed in the refrigerator, so we can see the temperature of the refrigerator all the time, and one is more or less permanently mounted outside, so we can see the temperature outside as well, all by an app. So now we're out here in the bow, and in the main cabin, it has a really nice thick bed. It has a place here where you can sit. It has a storage over here. Again, fans, which is so important in the heat in the Mediterranean. Just below me, we have a freezer. It's running all the time. -8 degrees right now. It's not like it's gonna be -20 in the heat here in the summer, but we can easily keep it below freezing temperature. Also over here we have the Raymarine, the same unit that I talked about we had in the desk area, where we can see all kinds of information. Just below here, that's where the main water tank is. Over where I'm sitting, just below, there's a little bit of storage. And then in the middle here, because there has been mounted a bow thruster that is taking up a lot of the space here, and the rest of the space on the, what you can say, in the middle here, has been used for our water maker. The water maker is controlled from a panel down here, and right now the water maker has to run on a generator. All the way out in the front, also below the bed, there's more space. There's right now there's a spinnaker, and another nice feature is that we have actually a big wooden plate that has been made already in case of a hatch leak, so that it can be, the hatch can actually be taken out, and this plate can just be put there, and then in case of a broken hatch or whatever, then there's a plate for that. Again, that goes to show how everything has been prepared. We haven't really talked about the engine, but also the engine. It has 2 water intake that can be switched between. Again, if something is broke, something is stuck on one of them, we can switch around, and then it's going to take another water intake. On each side, there's a little bit of space here below, and then we have a big cabinet over here. There's space in here, space there, and actually there's a small sink here. The sink is nice now because we're actually using it for the water maker, so that when we have to make sure that the water is ready to go in the tank, we let it go over here first, and then we can test it with this testing device. Normally just have to run 3 minutes, and it's good enough to go in the water tank. So this was a presentation of our boats. We hope that maybe it has awakened some interest in you. As we said, this could easily be converted back again. Now you can see with the space we have here, charts, everything. If there's any questions you have or whatever, there's gonna be a contact WhatsApp here in the video, and it's also gonna be in the description of the sail. Anything, please contact us. We're here to answer any questions you might have. So we hope to see you on board of Padayon. Bye bye.